What is up, guys? Midwest Gaming here, and who are we here with?
Tahan, I just got second place in YCS Philly 2013.
What'd you play?
The Kashtira brick deck.
Very cool.
So I wanted to play a tier 1 deck for the first time in my life. Or not a tier 1 deck, I always play tier 1, but I wanted to play the definitive best deck just to see what would happen. So I put this together on like Monday, and I've never summoned a cash card before that. And they're pretty strong. I quickly discovered throughout my rounds, I went undefeated day 1, but I quickly discovered by like round 4 that like it didn't really matter what happened. You stun Fenrir, they couldn't do anything. Like it just clears every other deck's game plan just gets cleared by 1 card. So with that in mind, I built my deck to have cards that facilitated me getting Fenrir a lot. So I guess we're gonna go into those. But my monster count was pretty standard. No, it wasn't. Pretty innovative. So triple Fenrir, triple Unicorn, that's standard. I played double Arizar, that's a cool thing I did. I cut Ogre for this. This card's super relevant because you open Birth, which I always do because I always brick. This just plays, so it's super crucial. I played just one of these guys. Those are my cash names. I mained triple Nibiru. I expect a lot of Kashmirs, and I expect to be made to go first a lot. So obviously going first is not very favorable in the Kashmir because of all the strong going second cards, even game 1. But what it does guarantee is that in order for them to kill you, they have to summon at least 5 times to clear through a Riser and everything. So this card's actually better going first. So I wanted it in the main. It's pretty good. 3 Shifter. I expect a lot of Kashmirs, and I drew 2 of these in the finals, so that's pretty good. Probably shouldn't have played that. 3 Ash. I played Branded twice, so twice, I don't know. So you just want the auto win versus Branded. 1 Terraforming, and then 3 of the planets. Nothing crazy. 3 Theosis, 3 Birth. Very standard cards. I played 3 Book of Moon. I didn't play Eclipse or anything. I just wanted the regular ones because I don't like cards that have points of interaction, so I don't want them to be able to ash it. That's basically the only reason. And this card is really good. It's game against almost every deck if you go first, so that's another thing. I wanted like a strong going first card and a strong going second card, and Book of Moon was just that. It's good going second versus like everything except Branded. Even versus like Scareclaw deck. I'm sorry, not Scareclaw deck. Even against the super heavy deck. This card is really good going second, assuming you can play. It like forces it out of the gate, and then you just play the other cards in your deck, which are like 2 talents. I played 2 because I wanted to clog, and it's always easy to add it off Prosperity if you need it, so that's what I did. I played 3 Imperm because I don't like when people activate talents against me, so and if they do, it's going to be post Nibiru, and it won't matter because they already lost. So that was the logic there, and then just the 1 Big Bang. Obviously, you need a card to side out, so that's the main deck. 40 cards isn't that bad. Side deck is obviously let's go on the X deck. It relates more to the main. So these are my Desire Vanish. I made the Fossil Guy, Garura, Infinitrack. I never had this card in my graveyard at all. I never resolved a draw against Garura, and I never had this be relevant and protect me from Gamma or anything real at all. So these cards should just be any other card in the game, like just the worst level 7, like rank 7 monsters you can imagine. Just play those instead. These literally never come up. 1 Donner. I didn't play Link Reaver or anything because I'm really bad. Probably should have played 3. Big Eye. Probably should have played 2. Dark Arm. This is fine at 1. This card's actually really, really strong. It's like one of the best cards in my deck against like simplified game states. You just like destroy them, and obviously you can banish Theosis from grave and just win. 2 Zeus. Unironically, probably should have played 3. 2 Diablosis. It came up sometimes. It's just a really strong monster to make. And when you open like kind of subpar, or if you're making like a subpar like repush, in like a kind of simplified game state, and you can't either get to Zeus or something, or maybe your copies are banished. This is a good card to make as like a Hail Mary. You just banish their cards and just hope that they can't resolve their fan research, and it actually happens a lot because you banish like 28 cards, and you just can't win. Triple Rise Heart. I only ever made a duel, I think, ever, so moving forward it's probably just correct to banish these off Desires and just play the 1. And then 2 of these, Shangri-La, very standard. I never lost 5. I lost 3 sometimes. The later in the tournament I ran, the more I started locking. Earlier on, I expected people to be worse, and decks to be worse, and I thought just a Rise Heart playing it safe would be better.
Sure.
But later in tournaments, I was just, the super heavy deck and everything. It's just right to at least lock 3 and play into Nib. I built my deck wanting to play into Nib intentionally. I feel like this format was really hand trap centric with all the Pearly decks and all the super heavy decks playing like 18. So I wanted to exploit that this event. So I sided 3 Thrust no matter what. Going second, going first, just in my deck no matter what. Why didn't you main it, Calvin? Don't know. Target for that going second is Heartbeats. I guess the answer is that like the polarizing cards you can search are just better post side. So Heartbeats is obviously a blowout versus literally anything, even Kashtira. You kill their Broken Moons. This card's auto win going first, so I would regularly play to Nibiru, lock as many zones as I could, and if they don't nib me, they lost anyway. And if they do, I resolve this and set this and just have a birth, and there's nothing they can do. The game is just done. So like Heartbeats at 1, they have a nib token, so they can't play Lightning Storm. It's just not winnable for them. So getting nibbed on purpose was my game plan, and I did it a lot. 3 Bell, I wanted to defeat Labyrinth and not get branded locked, so it's just for those decks. I defeated Labyrinth in top 8, which was, I didn't draw this card, and I defeated Branded in top 32, and I did draw this card and won me the match against Branded Red, right? Yeah. 3 Dark Ruler, this was just for super heavy. Not much to say about it. There's no other deck I saw this in, but Fantasy Sprite deck or like Dragon Link or something. Just like some awful deck that makes a board that doesn't do anything. This card is like a talent target, so technically only need to play 1, but I also wanted to just be able to hard draw it and use my talents for anything else, or my thrust for anything else. Probably could have played 2 or 1 or 0, but Super Heavy is not a very good deck, so it doesn't matter. 3 Econ, I think this is necessary in this format, just because Cash is the best deck and this card is so polarizing to me. Are you going first? It's just very good. And then 1 Heralded Abyss is my last thrust target. I just didn't feel like reading Pearly cards, so I didn't read any of them.
Fair.
I just added this to my hand and killed them. But that is the deck. So like I said, I didn't find many of the new strategies very interesting. Super heavy just seemed, I don't like pendulum cards, so I don't like setting scales. And I also like spell cards a lot. Like I think obviously this whole profile is about thrust and talents, so spell cards are very good, and I like being able to play them. So that deck was never something I was going to play. And Pearly just like had, I don't know, just felt too costly to resolve the cards, and like playing Discard Engine didn't seem very viable either because of how many hand traps there are. So I didn't feel like those decks were good, and because they weren't interesting, I just decided to play the most boring fair deck ever, and I just like pub stomped the event with it. Again, undefeated day 1, got very lucky a couple times in top cut, won some unwinnable games, and then the final, I did not win either of my unwinnable games. Sometimes you just predict you can't win. But that's what it is. I don't feel like I deserve to win this event anyway because I didn't play that great and am not the best catcher player in the room. So pretty happy with how I did. But I think it's just this was a deck building event. I think just like stellar. Literally, like I don't want to feel like I'm talking about myself, but like this side deck plan, even when it's flawed, is like just perfect. Like getting to the purpose, like the stupidest thing you can think of. But this card is ridiculous. And so just that alone got me as far as it did. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next events. If you guys are curious, I'm on Midwest Gaming. I'm going to be going to every event that's been announced, period. So that's Brazil, that's Mexico, that's Toronto, or whatever that is. Nationals in wherever it is. And so, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys there. Thank you. Any questions?